16th Planning Board meeting. We have, I believe, 4 items on the agenda tonight, and we can get started. We just join in a Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, Catherine, you want to call the roll? Let's get started.
Mr. Anderson?
Here.
Mr. Arena?
Here.
Mr. Kashani?
Here.
Mr. Kosel?
Here.
Mr. Malta?
Here.
Mr. Mixel?
Here.
Mr. Giardina?
Here.
Mr. Artuso?
Here.
Mr. Sacker?
Here. Let's see, first one we've got is the Country Max. Yeah, there's 4 of them, yeah. Go ahead, Dave, you want to get started? We can.
Country Max signage located at 695 Ridge Road. Applicant Don Payne is requesting sign approval for one 72 square foot building mounted sign and one 102 square foot monument sign associated with the Country Max store on a 6.72 acre parcel located in MC Medium Density Commercial District under Dakota Town of Webster.
Yes, sir.
Don Payne, Country Max Stores. Would you like me to put these up, or it's the same copies that you have?
Well, you know, I don't know, whatever, you guys okay with what you got in front of you? You want them to put it up? Yeah, okay, don't bother.
So it's shown on the site plan, both the monument sign and the building sign. The building sign is just on the front. The plan that you have shows it on the side and the front, but
Yeah.
I was mistaken and didn't realize that that side sign is not going to be included.
You're not gonna bother with that one?
No.
Yeah. Tell you what, the building is looking good, though.
Oh, thank you. We hope we can get the telephone pole out of the middle
Yeah,
of the
that's,
driveway.
we hear more jokes about that.
It's a safety hazard, and I wish somebody would help us, because we can't get them to move it.
You're serious?
I'm serious. We've been since October trying to get that thing moved. The DOT finally said to pave it, because we had our permit open. We wanted to try to get it paved prior to the closing of the plants last fall.
Yeah.
So we paved around it, and we've been battling since. We finally got them to move the electric off it, but it's still got the other services on it. And so DOT would like us to move the crates out of the way. They want a barrier there. But we move those crates out of the way, somebody's gonna run into that pole. It's a driveway. So,
Wow.
so we'll keep trying, but it's been frustrating.
Let's see. There's your monument sign.
I got a question, Mr. Chairman, about the monument sign.
I'm sorry, Mark.
No, I have a question about the
Oh, no,
monument.
go ahead, yeah.
Oh, okay,
I was waiting for the question, so I was looking at the map while you were talking.
I like the coloring, but to be quite honest with you, I find it to be very cluttered. In a sense, and I'm referring to this one here. Do you really need all of the verbiage that you have on there? I mean, couldn't it be like Country Max, as you have on your sheet here, Webster, or Country Max, whatever the address is going to be? Is it going to be Hatch Road or Ridge Road?
It's Ridge
That's
Road.
Ridge.
The town told us that the address would be officially Ridge Road.
Okay.
We started at Hatch Road.
As I say, I like the coloring, I just think that this, it's just too much verbiage, it's too cluttered. You know, stores for your real life, pets, wild bird, equine, lawn and garden feed. I don't know what the rest of the board members think about that or not, but
It's a
that's
good
the only
point. Yeah,
thing I
no,
have.
Country Max stores, pet, wild birds, equine, lawn and garden feed, that's fine. Do you need that in the center? I think you need that part?
And quite often people ask us who we are, so
Sorry?
quite often people ask us what it is, so that's why we have the descriptive below it.
No, I think that's good. That's good, but do you need for your real life in there?
Right.
I think that's maybe more is that necessary? And what would be good to do too is you should put the address somewhere in there,
Which,
the physical address of the site.
You know, I highly recommend that. Of course, that's what we've been doing anyway.
Yes, yeah.
For the time that I've been here, which is a good idea. Because again, I was somewhat confused here. I see one application that says Ridge Road, the other one says Hatch Road. I didn't know.
that was from the town. We
Okay.
started with 1065 Hatch Road. We were told to change it to 695 Ridge Road by the town, so that's what we did.
Well, that's just my opinion. I think that it would be a nice sign if they eliminated some of the wording.
If you set this, I'm trying to think of how the lay of that is. It does drop down, so if you're 25 feet off the right-of-way, which is where you'd have to be with the sign, is that dropping down the hill some at that point?
Drops down 2 feet, but the allowance is 6 foot high, so that's,
Okay, you're okay with that?
we're just, well, I think we have to be okay with that.
Yeah, well, the sign, yeah, 6 foot,
Yeah.
yeah, or unless you could flatten the grade a little bit where the sign goes, just to
Right.
get it up a little higher, have the grade a bit higher.
Right,
You want it to work where you can see it, you don't want to be looking down the hill
Right.
at it.
right.
Anybody else, any issues? I think Mark's got a point there, if you can, is it possible to eliminate that
Yeah,
center,
yeah,
that
that's,
centerpiece?
yes,
And then just put the address, what is it, 625 you said?
695.
695? Somewhere on there, wherever it works
Okay.
for you. Lighting, you gonna put lights on it, or?
Behind, so it's backlit sign.
Okay, it's showing on both sides, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it'll be lit up onto it?
It'll be lit inside it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's good, just the figures are lit, the rest of the blue is
Right,
The blue's okay.
dark, yep.
right.
Anybody, any concerns, or?
No, same
guys
thing
okay
about
with
the verbiage,
Yeah, maybe just changing that, you agree? Yeah.
Yeah. It'll look cleaner.
Okay, so we got this monument sign, and then the sign on the building is, actually, it's substantially below what the allowed size would be, isn't it, Josh? It's about half of what it could be,
Yeah, it
right?
is. It is.
Yeah. Less than half. All right. Somebody wanna, we should gotta do a secret on it.
We got a motion for seeker. Town of Webster Planning Board consider request by applicant Don Payne for a 72 square foot building mounted sign and a 102 square foot monument mounted sign for Country Max located at 695 Ridge Road on a 6.72 acre lot having SBL number 079.17-1-78.121. The planning board classifies the proposed action as a type 2 action under section 617.5C9 of the State Environmental Quality Review Regulations, and therefore is not subject to further review.
Need a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Mr. Arena?
Aye.
Mr. Giardina?
Aye.
Mr. Mixel?
Aye.
Mr. Kosel? Mr. Malta? Mr. Kashani?
Aye. Okay, and a motion, Mark, do I make a motion for approval for that sign?
Preliminary, right?
No, it's just a sign, approving the sign. You don't need it, just approve what's presented.
I'd like to make a proposal for a sign approval for Country Max signage, which is located at 696 Ridge Road. The applicant is requesting 72 building monument sign and 102 monument sign associated with Country Max store on 6.72 acre parcel located in an MC medium intensity commercial district under section 178-7 of the code of the town of Webster.
Do you want to put on there about the sign?
With the mention that the Country Max monument sign, that the wording be, for your real life, be eliminated, And did we want to put the address in there?
Yes.
And instead include the address of the establishment, which is 695 Ridge Road.
And the sign, and the building sign is part of the same approval, right?
Yes, building sign is approved
As presented then,
as presented.
right? Okay, all right. Okay, you have a motion, need a second.
I second it.
Okay, you have a motion and a second.
Mr. Giardina.
Aye.
Mr. Kosel.
Aye.
Mr. Mixel.
Aye.
Mr. Anderson.
Aye.
Mr. Malta.
Aye.
Mr. Arena.
Aye.
Mr. Kashani.
All right. Okay, you're all set. Good luck. When do you propose opening this, spring?
In April,
April? Oh, good.
Right.
Looks great.
Good luck.
There's a lot of
Good luck.
compliments on
It
it.
does, it looks great.
thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be happy, I think.
Oh, I think what you've done is a great job. It looks great. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Take care.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Tom.
Sure.
Village Vet located 40 Commons Boulevard, applicant Andrea Blitz is requesting preliminary final site plan approval associated with proposed construction of a 6,000 square foot veterinarian office on a 1.44 acre parcel located in an MC medium intensity commercial district under the Code of Town of Webster.
We're pushing you tonight. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Good evening, board members. I'm David Cox with Pastoral Associates, the civil engineer for the project. And also with me is Andrea Blitz, who is the owner of the Village Vet. And we're here for preliminary and final site plan approval tonight. We came before the board earlier for concept approval. And we also have gone to the ZBA and received our variances that we needed. So we're ready to go here. And just to give a kind of a brief overview, I'll keep it short and sweet, is the Village Vet has been extremely successful, and the business has actually grown in the current pandemic because more people at home, more people are getting pets. So she's experienced a lot of growth, and her current facility, there's no room for growth. It's short on parking. She needs something. She needs a new place. So she's been looking for a while, and she finally found 40 Webster Commons Boulevard, and it is it's just a perfect fit. It's just the right size for the property, and it's the last piece of the puzzle to this whole development. So it's really nice to put that last puzzle piece in and have it completely finished. So the parking is, for any of the customers, is up front here, and then there's parking in the back for staff. The stormwater management area for the entire complex is on the property. That's what kind of forced the building up near the road, which required the front setback variance. Since we were here last, there was some town and agency comments. We have addressed all those. One of them being from the sanitary sewer department. There's a sanitary sewer manhole right there, and it was a parking lot was right over top of that, and they said if we want to access that and there's a car parked over it, that's not good. So we have made an island so that sanitary manhole is now in an island, so it can be always accessible. And obviously the building here, it's a great looking building that Andrea had a vision of what she wanted it to look like, and I feel we did a pretty good job of bringing that to life. She is ready to go. She's ready to start construction as soon as possible. We're probably looking to be able to start in April and be done by November, October-ish time frame, and be up and running before the end of the year. So that's a plan, short and sweet.
The only thing, we were fine with it, is you're just banking the parking spaces?
Yep.
What, are you showing them on here?
Yes, there is 14 land bank spaces.
What's that? Which one? What am I looking at?
It's on the site plan. C102. So there's a
Yeah, that's what I got.
couple spaces here at the end, up top here.
Oh, okay, I got it. I see where you're at.
Yep, 11 spaces
Yep.
on this side and one down here.
Okay.
They're dashed in.
Yeah, I think that's fine. There was a question on it. If you did need more parking spaces, I'm sure you'd be the first one to want to put them in, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, okay, that's good. The building is great, looks good. We talked that the last time, that was nice. Real nice looking building. You got your variance. You have room for, at the back, you're away from the detention area.
Yep.
That leaves you room for a proposed future addition. I don't see any issues with this. Concerns from PRC, you've addressed those?
Yep.
That's all set? Okay. All right, actually, this is a public hearing, so for anybody, if anybody is watching, we'll open the public hearing, and you can call 872-7011 if you have any comments either for or against this project. Meanwhile, we can go around. Anybody concerns? Mark?
I hate to seem like the sign guy tonight, but are you going to come in for an application for the sign later on after the building is put up?
Yeah, that'll be a separate
So
application.
you can have a monument sign in the front.
No monument sign.
You're not going to include I thought,
There's an existing.
there's an existing, and they're going to put
They'll have a slot.
right,
For
okay.
that, right.
Okay.
But not a new sign.
All
Yeah,
right,
your
so-
sign would be up by the road out there.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
Is the sign that's shown on here what she's proposing? Because I know when she came in for concept, you had made the comment at that point that if the sign's included in the final packet, that we can wrap it all in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the
That's it.
sign there, yeah.
That's what was on the original drawing,
Yep.
wasn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Call that. Okay, so that's the only sign you have other than the one that's posted out in your
Correct.
monument sign out by the
Yep.
road. Okay. All right, anybody, Dave, nobody?
Nothing.
Nothing? You guys, wow,
Looks
the easy one.
Is she gonna, do you want to include the sign as part of this, or is it gonna?
Yeah, we can
is that
include,
separate?
we can include the sign, yeah.
I just figured get it all done at once.
Yeah.
Do you know any particulars about this, if it's backlit, how it's lit?
It's backlit.
That might be a problem, so it's a big white sign.
Yeah.
That's,
Just make it to conform. If you're gonna light it backlit,
That was the plan, if that's
yeah,
not,
you can have it backlit, but you just gotta go by what the code is. In other words, the only thing that should show are the figures, the
Yeah.
actual letters. The rest should be blacked out, blue, some color that doesn't emit light.
okay.
Get away from the white glaring box.
Yeah, we can do that.
You'll see it in the code, just follow that.
Yep.
All right, not a big thing.
Got it.
All right, nobody's called to complain or has an interest in it, so we'll close the public hearing. Derek, you okay with it? Everything else is good?
yeah. I mean, but with the sign, just, as it does show, it is a big, large, white box, and however they construct it to make sure it is opaque.
We have to put that just put it in a resolution.
Yeah, we can put it in the,
Yeah, it's probably gonna be something that as it shows at night, all you're just gonna see is Village Vet, unless it's gonna be big black.
yeah, they do amazing things with
Be aware of
signs
that.
now that, at night they can black out whatever part they want.
Wait, so he's now including the sign?
Well, the sign was on the original drawing, the one on the building.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that, he said he's not including it now, but now he
No,
is.
we are including it.
Okay, just want to be clear.
Yep.
All right, you wanna do a seeker on it, Derek?
Yeah. Because of the size of the building, this winds up being an unlisted action. Town of Webster Planning Board consider request by applicant Andrea Blitz to construct a 6,000 square foot veterinary office on a 1.44 acre parcel located at 40 Commons Boulevard, having SBL number 079.16-1-24.232 in a medium intensity commercial district. The planning board determined that the proposed action is an unlisted action under section 617 of the State Environmental Quality Review Regulations. The planning board determined that the action is subject to a single agency review pursuant to part 617.6B1 of SEQR and that it is the most appropriate agency for making determination of significance. The planning board therefore designates itself lead agency for the proposed action. The planning board has considered the criteria for determining significance as set forth in section 617.7C1 of seeker and has 1, considered the information contained in the short environmental assessment form, part 1, dated December 28th, 2020. Number 2, considered public comments directed at the planning board during the public hearing on February 16th, 2021. And number 3, completed part 2 of the environmental assessment form. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Webster Planning Board hereby determines that the proposed action will not have a significant adverse effect on the environment for the reasons set forth in the attached notice of determination of non-significance. Be it further resolved that the Town of Webster Planning Board is authorized to make all actions reasonable and necessary to file a negative declaration and discharge the Town of Webster Planning Board's responsibility as lead agency for this action. Be it further resolved that the Town of Webster Planning Board, based on the information and analysis above and the reference supporting documentation and discussions of the action by the Town of Webster Planning Board as documented by the minutes for this meeting, that the proposed action will not result in a significant environmental impact. Be it further resolved that the Town of Webster Planning Board therefore makes a determination of non-significance. Be it further resolved that the Town of Webster Planning Board, based on the above reasons, issues a negative declaration as evidence of its determination.
Second.
Mark?
Second.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Mr. Giardina?
Aye.
Mr. Mixel?
Aye.
Mr. Kosel?
Aye.
Mr. Malta?
Aye.
Mr. Arena?
Aye.
Mr. Kashani?
Aye. Do a preliminary approval on it. I was just missing something I was thinking about. I can't remember what it was. The landscape, you got a landscape drawing in here?
Yep.
You got it in there, okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's okay. That's all right. I just want to, so that it's in the packet, that's all.
Yep, it's in the packet.
Okay.
And you saw materials?
I'm sorry?
You saw materials or?
What, oh, for the building?
Yeah.
Well, they actually did a really great job of
Okay.
describing the building. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, somebody want to make a motion for preliminary, or?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, go ahead, Dave, yeah, go ahead.
I'll make a motion for preliminary approval for the village vet located at 40 Commons.
You gotta talk up into that mic, though, she's not picking you up.
Okay, subject to PRC comments, subject to a letter of credit posted with the Town of Webster, subject to Monroe County Water Authority comments, subject to the determination of the ZBA for requested variances. All improvements shall be constructed according to the specification of the Town of Webster. All site work be in compliance with the standards of the Town of Webster. Comply with all requirements of any state, county, or town agency. Address drainage, lighting, signage, landscaping, buffering, berming, and snow storage. Approvals are subject to drawing number. I don't have that drawing in front of me.
You know what you could use probably, Dave, I was looking at it before, is just use the one at the bottom, it's A-7.0 for the building elevations, and then the drawing is C-102. That's the site drawing.
Okay, that's the motion.
Didn't they get,
Do we want to put something in there about the sign?
Yeah, the sign to be opaque with just the figures to be lit.
Sign will be opaque with just the figures lit,
Yeah. Okay, good.
as shown on the drawing.
All right,
didn't they get their variances already from the ZBA?
Yes.
they got their variances already.
Okay,
They're all
because it was
done.
part of the conditions here.
Yeah, you got it, they did it,
They did, okay.
yeah. Okay, we have a motion, need a second.
I second it.
John? Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Mr. Kosel?
Yeah.
Aye. Mr. Malta?
Aye.
Mr. Kosel?
Aye.
Mr. Giardina?
Aye.
Mr. Mixel?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Mr. Arena?
Aye.
Mr. Kashani?
Aye. Okay. Probably want a final too, huh?
Yes.
Somebody want to
40 Commons Boulevard, subject to PRC comments. I don't think there's Parks and Rec fees with commercial, is there?
That's not residential, so no, they're not applicable here.
Subject to preliminary approval conditions, subject to all applicable government fees, subject to the Department of Public Works approvals. Significant construction shall occur within 1 year, is deemed by the planning board to expire on February 16th, 2022. Conditions of the preliminary and final approval are depicted on the cover page of the final design plans. Engineer for the proposed project shall provide a letter of certification that all proposed work was completed as per planning board resolution of final approval before a certificate of occupancy will be issued. A letter of credit to the town for the project shall include a fee for the engineer's final certification inspection of the site. Do we have stormwater facilities on that? I don't think so.
I don't think so. You're not putting downspouts in, are you?
No, it's the only stormwater is the existing.
I mean, your drainage from the building?
Oh, goes right to the stormwater.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Subject to resolution of final approved minutes. Approvals are subject to the drawing number.
Same ones.
Same ones. And
Now, 7 and 8, those, we've got we've been a little lax on that. That's the one he mentioned is the conditions of preliminary and final should be on the final drawing. So when you have your drawings to go in for signatures, you need to have the approved preliminary final resolutions on that cover sheet.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure thing.
And then number 8, the engineer for the project provides a letter of certification. So when it's all done, you want to go get your certificate of occupancy for the project, what you need to do is you need to verify that everything, the contractors, everybody has completed everything the way it was supposed to have been done.
Okay.
Okay, so you're just certifying that everything was done properly.
Got it.
Because a lot of times that stuff is getting neglected, and from one department to the other, you kind of lose it, you know, and it shows up later and it becomes an issue. So anyways, those would be the main ones to be concerned with. Okay, what did we do with that? You may have,
Need a second.
I'll second the motion.
Mark? Okay.
Okay, Mr. Malta?
Aye.
Mr. Giardina?
Aye.
Mr. Mixel?
Aye.
Mr. Koso?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Mr. Arena?
Aye.
Mr. Kashani?
All right. All right, that's it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're all set. Good luck with the project. All you need now is spring to come around. Okay.
Hang on.
Go ahead, Dave, whenever you're ready. Here you go.
Proposed Jiffy Lube located 1161, 1171, 1173 to 1175 Ridge Road and 974 Jackson Road. Applicant Bowler Engineering is requesting a sketch plan review of 3,000 square foot Jiffy Lube service station on proposed 0.84 acre parcel consisting of the above referenced addresses located in the MC Medium Intensity Commercial District under the Code of Town of Webster.
Mr. Goldman.
Good evening. If you have any problem hearing me, I could take the mask off, but I've never heard complaints that no one can hear me. So let me know if it's a problem. But for the record, my name is Jerry Goldman. I'm the attorney and agent for Guggenheim Development, who is looking to develop the southeast corner of Ridge Road and Jackson Road into a Jiffy Lube location. With us this evening are John Mark from Guggenheim Development, to my immediate left, and the project engineer is Chris Boyer from Bowler Engineering. Again, we're here this evening on a concept review, and our concept review this evening is to essentially subdivide the immediate corner for for this Jiffy Lube location. This is part of the property which is owned by Ridge Road Webster LLC. The remainder of the property is going to be in, as shown here, there is a house which is on the Jackson Road frontage, which is going to stay. There are two houses here which are going to disappear, two lots that are along the Ridge Road frontage, with a little bit of adjustment of lot lines, comprises the Jiffy Lube parcel. That parcel is slightly less than the 45,000 square feet, which is required in the MC district, and for that reason, we will need an area variance for that. In addition, I'm just going to hold on to the microphone. And in addition, we will be applying for a use variance to allow the use as a Jiffy Lube at this particular corner. It's deemed to be an automotive type use, which is not a permitted use in the MC district. However, there really is something very nice about this particular use on this corner. And that is that the Jiffy Lube and Jiffy Lube operation is a traffic desert, if you will. There's no intensity of traffic on the site. The average number of cars that are utilizing the Jiffy Lube facility typically is between 30 to 35 a day, as opposed to if this were a standard MC use, it could be 30 to 35 cars per hour. And that is really the benefit of this particular use at this location. So Jiffy Lube itself has made inroads into the Rochester market with their newest development. It's actually a multi-care center. There is a location in Henrietta, which is in an out parcel in front of the Regal Theater. There's a site, which is, I believe, a smaller site than this one, in the town of Arundecoit, along the Ridge Road area. This particular site is their state-of-the-art facility. The one thing that is, I think, very good from a Ridge Road perspective is that the building, the loading is going east-west along here. So to that extent, the building facade and building frontage along Ridge Road is solid. There are no garage doors which are shown. As we go through the fuller site plan approval, we'll be talking about treatment along the area, but as you can see, we have a very large amount of green space on this particular site. We have ample room to be able to do what we need to do on the site. Access to the site will be from two curb cuts, one on Ridge Road and one on Jackson Road, which also is a substantial benefit from the existing condition, which had multiple curb cuts on Ridge Road, and I believe it has at least one on Jackson Road. So to that extent, we are doing our part to benefit traffic, and of course, we know as we go forward, we will have to have the review of Monroe County Department of Transportation, Jackson Road being a county road, Ridge Road, of course, being a state road. We have New York State DOT that will be a part of this. As we indicated, and as you've had in your packets and with the application material, we had some early design on our elevations. We know the town's design guidelines are looking for something a little bit different. We're going to be working on that to try to get it done. But the typical building would have a wainscot, a lower level, which has a particular architectural design, and then the upper level would also be somewhat different. We're talking about darker earth tones on the site because we think that's in keeping with the development which has occurred along the Ridge Road corridor. Brick is being heavily considered relative to this, and we'll be prepared to discuss that further when we come back for formal site plan approval, assuming that we get the variances from the zoning board of appeals. So part of our objective here this evening is to gather any input that we can get from the board relative to the concept, and also we would request that the board give a favorable recommendation for this use as one which is essentially consistent with a lot of the uses along this part of Ridge Road. The Royal Car Wash, there is also an automotive facility which is further down across the street on Ridge Road just before we hit the village. But the key element of all of that is the fact that I think it's everyone's desire that we have a low traffic generator on any of these intersections, and that really was the key to what we are doing on this site. I don't know if John or Chris have anything to add before we open it up to any comments or questions that the board may have.
Just one question, Jerry. You needed a variance. One was a use variance, and the other was, what was the other one for?
We have an area variance because our lot, the MC district requires a 45,000 square foot lot. We have a lot which is somewhat in the high 30s. I don't recall exactly what the number is. I think it's 34,000 or thereabouts. And the reason why is because we have the residential house that exists over here, with the existing building that's here. So as a practical matter, we're kind of boxed in terms of what this lot size is. But again, we are not skimping by any means because of the amount of green space that we have on the site. It's not like we are shoehorning anything in. Typically, we see these Jiffy Lubes on a lot smaller parcel than the parcel we're talking about here.
So,
You mentioned something about sign guidelines?
Design
Oh,
guidelines.
design, I'm sorry. Well, can I
We
bring up?
ultimately will be coming back to the board with sign guidelines. We do show some on the draft elevations that we submitted with the application. And we'll be doing an analysis. We'll be doing an analysis of whether it totally conforms with code or whether it needs any relief or any variances. But we'll be taking a more critical look at that as we move on to the next stage.
That was the point that I was going to bring up tonight, is I just thought that there's an awful lot of signs. Again, I hate to seem like Mr. Sign Guy tonight, but there seems like an awful lot of signs for one building, especially when you're talking about the front elevation. You got the Jiffy Lube, and then you've got Pennzoil, which I don't know if that would be considered a separate sign or not. So it's just something to
And that's something we'll review. I don't know if the measurement of the sign constitutes a box around the entire element or whether each piece of it are. I believe that the code talks about it. We may need a variance for second elevation. We are talking about a monument as well, which is permitted under the code. So that will be coming back as part of the site plan application, site plan review. So thanks for that comment, Mark.
what's the code say? You have to have 45,000 square feet? Was that a number?
Lot size for MC.
45?
45.
And what have you got, Jerry? 30?
34,936.
35.
But we're really boxed in. There's really not much we can do because we're going to need a side setback variance over here for the house, literally. And this building is very close in that location.
On that drawing, right where you had your finger,
Yes.
go to the south. Go to the south of the property. Now go back to the west, where the property line is. There's like a jog in it. Yeah, right your property
Over
line.
here?
Yeah, there's a.
Okay.
What am I looking at there?
I'm not sure. Do you want to address that? It sounds like it may have something to do with this easement, with the shed. There's an existing shed which exists over here. We're trying not to disturb the remainder of the property, and that's what's really causing what we're doing.
That little shed that's on the. It's on the easement there, isn't it?
I'm not sure exactly where the sewer line is within the easement. We show a center line, but I'm not sure exactly where it is. I trust that the shed is not sitting on the easement, but that's something that I think we'll probably figure out as we move forward.
Well, the easement is the whole width though, right?
Yeah. The easement is the whole width.
Yeah.
But if the shed pre-existed, I really don't know when that sewer easement came in and for what purpose. I'm not sure what was there first. Yeah.
What kind of a shed is it? Is it some? I mean, is it a good shed or? What I'm getting at is, in other words, just to minimize your variance, if you could move that, it looks like it's probably about 5 foot, that jog, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
4.3.
So if you, what is it?
4.3.
Well, that's a good guess.
Dimension. You're very good.
So if you moved it up and you got another 4 foot by the length of that,
Which is,
you'd have another 500, you'd almost be, you know, you're a whole lot closer to what you, somewhat closer anyways, to what your required square footage would be. You know, you're minimizing it anyways.
yep. Yeah, we understand that.
I don't know how important the shed is, if it's just, you know,
Well, it's a,
yeah.
For the record, my name is John Marth, Guggenheim Development, sorry. Yes, I think really it was just as simple as, that's part of the retained lot. We saw that the shed was there in existence today, so we were just trying to put a small jog on the property line to sort of honor and give that shed a little bit of space off of the new property line. That was really the only intention there, I think, so.
that's something that we can explore and take a look. We would have to ask the existing property owner, you know, what his feeling is relative to that, and, you know, we could try to work with that and see if we can come up with something, but
Yeah, I'm sorry.
if we have another 5,000 square feet, we're still just shy of 40, so we would be in a variance situation in any event.
I'm surprised they didn't have the shed further south, you know, not on the easement area, but.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure who showed up first. I'm not sure if the shed was there first or whether the easement was there first. From the looks of the site, it looks like almost everything was there before anything else was there. So,
Well, anyways, there was a comment in there about the, there is not high intensity use of that area. Exit on Jackson Road, oh no, it was highway, there it is. The island cannot stick out into the right of way, so
Yeah.
you got that, right?
we will design, and I
Yeah.
want to thank Josh, who shared with us the DRC comments. Looks like there were 3 comments, that was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We certainly can address that and keep it out of the right of way.
Mm-hmm.
And take care of that. The other 2 were technical. They sounded more technical than something that the board might consider.
Yeah, correct. Yep, all right.
The ingress and regress going on to Jackson Road,
Yes.
is there any way to do something like what's on Ridge? The reason I say that is I go down that street all the time, and to have a car come out, turn left going south, it's always a killer amount of traffic there.
Yep.
Is there any restrictions why, you understand what I'm saying?
We're anticipating, well, certainly, again, we would have to review it with County DOT because
Sure.
it's there and near the intersection. But
Yes.
part of the issue is, if you want to travel south on Jackson, okay, coming out of here, your other alternative would be to come out to Ridge.
Mhm.
We're basically looking to restrict
Yes.
left turns out. I don't know how you get there, you know.
Yeah, you can't get left, you have to go around the block.
Even if you, well, you'd have to go up here and down,
Yep.
you know, down and around and everything else. And again, for 35 cars a day, I don't know how many cars we're gonna have, that are gonna be coming here.
Okay, all right.
So do you have a board that has the existing site on it,
Is it,
or is it on the back of the proposed?
This is the front of what?
So you're kind of looking at them side by side. What I'm trying to do is it,
Side by side.
because on your existing site, you got the 3 parcels shown. And the two frame house that's on, what is this, lot number 2?
Uh-huh.
Right now, you're showing on there that that house has a 33-foot setback from the side property line. And then the house that's on lot 52, that has it looks like 31, 34-foot setback from its north property line.
Mm-hmm.
And with your re-subdivision and how you're combining the lots, recreating the lot for this thing, now you're creating an existing lot that has an 8.3-foot setback for an existing structure on Ridge Road. And then I don't see the distance offhand for the dwelling that's on Jackson Road. With this subdivision, are you gonna have to seek variances for those existing houses?
Yeah, I've mentioned that we were gonna seek a side setback variance for this house.
What about the one on Ridge Road?
Ridge Road,
That's only-
Ridge Road it's a pre-existing property line. I don't think.
Well,
are we
the
moving
property
this one?
line, according to the map on the left there, is showing that you have
Are we moving that way?
or that's
Yeah.
the house you're getting rid of. So that's
Right.
the one that does have the
Right.
existing 8.3.
But
That
this line
that was off of property.
remains the same,
Yep, no, sorry, that was off of property.
so it's pre-existing, yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-existing.
So the variances, it's not only variances on
One that,
size and setback for the proposed development, but you're also seeking variances on the other combined lot.
one variance.
There's one.
One variance, and the logic with this one, in terms of what we need over here, is that the objective is to try to move this curb cut as far away from the intersection as we possibly can. Again, for traffic and safety reasons. This house currently is, I believe, a rental, which is owned by the property owner of the remainder over here, and of course he has signed off on that relative to the site.
Now, could we've seen a couple different proposals for this intersection before? The biggest thing, the hindrance was always that sewer easement that runs across it.
Yeah,
Every one of them always calls for the one lot and the one house that's remaining on Ridge Road. They always tend to show that thing as being demolished and taken away. If this thing is granted, setback variance for that, how would that affect a future development for that lot?
talking about this
Yeah.
lot on this side?
Right, if you were to start tearing down the buildings on there,
Well, we have
Very
a fair amount of
small way.
frontage along here. Or the remaining lot does have a fair amount of frontage. And, we have no sense of what may or may not happen. The issue for this property owner is that he has been unable to really get any traction with any site. I'm familiar with the fact that there have been prior applications for the overall site, and for lots of reasons they haven't worked. But again, the main feature is that we're taking almost an acre and we're turning it into a use that really is not generating a whole lot of traffic or a whole lot of activity.
so it's not our board, but the zoning board.
But yeah,
If they ever granted a variance specific to this type of thing, but any future development.
well, your point is well taken, because that leaves just that lot, and it's connecting to the other parcel to the east. There's not room to put a building there. That can't be divided into, separate lots. I mean, it's gonna, this would be a self-created hardship
Right.
by doing this.
For future development.
Yes, for future, whoever owns the rest of the property.
Well, I guess what I'm wondering more is, if we give them the variance for that, and the next development comes in and tears everything down, and then, we already have a variance for 8-foot setback for a building on this property line, is that still applicable for future development?
Once
I
the
think-
building goes, the setback really doesn't state
Yeah.
anything.
Good.
Yeah, it has to be a foundation that would be there. Help me out. Rear elevation, side elevation, front. What the heck am I looking at? Rear elevation, I'm assuming, is
Yes, Mark.
The second side elevation.
the east side.
Do you want to flip it, Chris, to the... I can walk you through, Mr. Chairman, real quick.
The front elevation is the east side. Is that the way I'm looking at it?
So, this might help. So, hang on, I actually have to orientate myself here.
Yeah, there
real
you
quick. So these are actually, so this elevation here called rear elevation, I think actually might be, embarrassingly, I think that's actually mislabeled.
Yeah, that's
That rear elevation, if I'm standing on Jackson Road.
That's Jackson
If I'm
Road.
standing at Jackson Road and looking at the
That's the
building,
way I'm seeing it. Okay.
That's what I'm
The
seeing,
rest falls into place.
and everything else falls into place. So my apologies, we'll make sure we get that updated. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
So that's the west. Rear elevation here is the west elevation.
Correct.
On the side elevation, which one
The
faces?
front elevation is the entrance going into it, which is really the east elevation.
So the left, the
That's
second
the
row,
east.
the one on the left is what faces Ridge Road.
Okay.
Side elevation would be Ridge Road.
The first one, yes,
That's Ridge Road.
correct.
So that's the north elevation. And then side elevation with the ladder, obviously, is the south elevation.
Yes, sir.
All right, so, that said, the north elevation.
I'm sorry?
The north elevation, I think maybe do some homework on that thing. That really looks like the back of a building. You know what I mean? You got a window in there, and it's just blah. There's nothing there that's attractive, in my opinion anyways.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It just looks kind of,
That's the predominant one seen from Ridge Road.
yeah, exactly.
Yep, we will, we'll definitely take a look at making some,
You know, your front elevate, your east elevate, or your west elevation, I mean, is, you know, that looks good. I mean, those doors, what are you using, different kind of doors on them, or are they kind of a neat looking door?
so these doors are, so they're actually a steel door with glass, so the whole thing is, glass panels.
Uh-huh.
It's a steel door, and that's mostly because of the R values that we have to get for ComCheck.
Uh-huh.
We prefer aluminum, but it's hard to get the insulative value.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's all glass.
You're over your doors on the west elevation,
Yes, sir?
you have like little canopies over them, those red things.
Yeah, so actually, this is, yeah, these guys really kind of, those are actually supposed to be, and again, I'm a little embarrassed to say this, these are actually supposed to be on the, this is basically, these are actually signs, and again, going back to signs, they're supposed to have little, it tells the driver what service. So like these first two are the oil change bays, and then these are supposed to be different, and it's just a small white letter here, so they didn't show that. So they've got some of this stuff backwards on here.
Well, I think what you need to do, I think what's gonna help is minimizing some of the signs. You don't wanna have signs over every door and window and,
Understood.
all over the place. That's not gonna be too appealing to the zoning board either.
So with the way you have it shown, where the big Jiffy Lube and the Pennzoil and that,
Yeah.
that's actually the facade that it's mirror imaged.
Correct.
It's what
So
you would see from Jackson Road.
my architect is going to get a phone call after this meeting. But yeah, so the signage in totality is what we normally would like. Obviously, we understand that there's going to be some reduction and some concessions made on signage. But yes, this sign package is what we typically go in with. And we'll have to make some reductions here. But yeah, these are a little bit
Yeah.
It's what you would
Flip
see,
it around.
but they're mirror imaged.
correct.
And so the top one up there, because that's a west-facing one, I gotta wonder why it would even have it's mirror image, but the Jiffy Lube is actually facing east. And it makes me wonder the need for that. I guess it'd be like it's almost like having a monument sign by the road when you're driving down. Because the only people who would see that would be the people in the drive-through.
Yeah, I'm gonna retract and correct my statement yet again. This is good. So, now it's all coming clear to me. So this is the front elevation, however, it's supposed to be mirrored.
It's mirror imaged.
So this is what we call the customer side of the building, and this layout, the customer side of the building belongs over here. So this is actually, again, I apologize to the board, we'll get this remedied, but this actually is what faces Jackson Road. This side. This is the rear of the building with those service entrances, so when a car drives up in the back of the site, they know which bay to enter for whatever they're looking for. So, again.
They're just backwards, that's all.
Yeah.
Correct, so.
You're messing with us here tonight, aren't you?
Believe me, Mr. Chairman, the last thing I'd like to do tonight is mess with the board.
Well, I think it sounds like the board's okay with this project, but you need to fine tune, do whatever you need to do to make it work, I guess. Gotta get your variances and what have you.
Just on a site plan too, you got a monument site and it's 10 feet off the Jackson Road right away. I don't think that's gonna fly.
Where are you, Derek?
On the site plan,
Yeah,
they have a proposed sign, it's a monument sign that's 22 feet off of Ridge Road, but it's only 10 feet off of Jackson Road.
It's gotta be 25.
yeah,
Gotta be 25.
yeah.
And then in that same area too, there's, you got your water service running through the middle of your proposed green space and stormwater management area. What do you envision as the stormwater management area? Is this subsurface? It's clearly not a pond that you're showing on here. Is this subsurface chambers?
Yeah, for the record, I'm Chris Boyer with Bowler Engineering, and we're very fortunate on this site from a stormwater standpoint. So there's a lot of good things from an engineering standpoint on this site. One, it's a redevelopment site. It's got a lot of properties on there too right now. We'll be removing some of those and cleaning that up. Two, there's 4 lots, and we're reducing the number of lots here, so lots in general are going to get consolidated and sorted out better. And then 3, the size development that we're trying to put here is very small. So again, the overall lot is, I think, 0.84 acres. So it's small, and as Jerry mentioned, a lot of green space here. So from a stormwater standpoint, it's redevelopment, less than an acre, and we've got a lot of green space here. So it's not a heavy lift on this for stormwater. We're probably going to be able to solve it all with surface because of those credits that are here. Connection-wise, ultimately it'll be a pipe that connects. Right now there's a drainage that comes out this way, and this is the flow of the water. And so we'll maintain that flow with the design. So tonight, I know your architect has put those elevations together. We just wanted to give the board a flair for, the project. What's it going to look like, scope, scale. There's a lot of detail that we'll have to get into. I know that the first challenge that we have is just, use variance. That can be scary. And before we do too much and talk about oak trees or cherry trees or lilac bushes, that's a big hurdle for us to get through is that use variance. But certainly there'll be even more detail with the stormwater.
Is that sewer sanitary or is it storm? I can't remember.
It's just sanitary that's
Okay.
there.
So you wouldn't be able to tie the storm into it?
There is a storm line here, but I think the easement that you're talking about is sanitary.
Sanitary.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the west elevation for just a moment? Because I have a question. Above the garage doors, is that all one color? You see what I'm talking about?
All of this brick is one color here. There might be some shading in there that you're seeing, but it's not intentional to have a different brick that's there.
Okay, because I've got on mine a dark red, and then it looks like an orange underneath.
That's the piece we were talking about.
That's about, okay. What about the lights there? The lights look like they're pointing outward instead of down.
Those actually aren't lights, those are actually
Stormwater scuppers.
Oh, all right, it looked like lights
Scuppers
to
on
me.
the roof.
We actually, just an additional point for everyone, as far as lighting goes, we're basically a standard, what I call standard business hours. Typically, we're a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 6 kind of operation, so lighting on the site, we actually don't propose site lighting other than anything on the building for emergency and safety purposes at night, that's it. So there's not really any lights that are
For
happening.
parking and stuff, you don't need.
Yeah, that we don't, because we're closed during, basically during nighttime hours. So, just something to point out for the board, there won't be a site that's lit up 24 hours a day here. We just, we're a daytime operation predominantly.
All right. Next step is to the ZBA now. That's up to the board. What do you guys
I
think?
think it's a great use for that corner.
What's that, Dave?
I think it's a great use for that corner.
Yeah, no,
Very
I'm
low impact.
comfortable with that, yeah.
It's gonna be, it's not a noisy thing, and not a lot of traffic. We've seen so many things come in on that corner, gas stations.
Yes.
Plazas and whatnot, restaurant type stuff. So I think it's a perfect use for that
Yeah.
corner.
I agree. So the question then, you guys want to have a letter sent to the zoning board, or you
I'm
just
in
go
favor
on your
of a
own?
letter.
What do you want to do? You tell me if you want the letter, I'll do a letter with
I'm in
Catherine
favor of a
tomorrow.
letter.
Huh?
Yeah.
Eric, you okay with that
Yeah.
too? All right, as long as
My
everybody's all
concern
right
is
with it. I
the
don't want
Ridge
to.
Road facing front of the building,
What's that?
doing something a little bit more exciting on the front of the building
Oh,
facing
yeah.
the Ridge Road.
Yeah.
That's my big concern,
This elevation needs,
which it's been talked.
Yeah, make sure the ladder's in the back.
We'll put the front in the front and the back.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. What am I looking at here? I didn't want to sound stupid, but I'm looking at this, I'm trying to figure out what's the front and what's the back here. Yeah. All right, you guys are all set, I guess, right?
Great?
Yep.
All right, well, we can make a letter tomorrow. Okay. All right.
excellent, we appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, fellas, we'll see you. Good luck. Whenever you're ready, Dave, go. Okay. Or we'll maybe go ahead and wait till I come in. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Rochester Linoleum Plaza parking lot expansion located at 1170 Ridge Road. Applicant Dave Spalletta is requesting a site plan modification of a previously approved site plan to allow the construction of 27 additional parking spaces on a 3.05 acre parcel located in MC Medium Intensity Commercial District under the Code of Town of Webster.
How are you, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Good.
I'm presenting this for Dr. G. Greco. He can't make it here tonight, but he wants to buy the plaza. It's under contract right now. And he wants to put in another 35 to 4,000 foot of office space for his orthodontist office. So it is vital for him to add these parking spots. He cannot operate without these parking spots. And I think it's crucial for the plaza. I think that the plaza is in ICU right now. It's struggling.
Yeah.
And Dr. Gene Greco, he's stepping up to buy the plaza. And I think will vitalize the plaza. I think the plaza will with these parking spots, will gain some legs.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
David Spalletta.
Okay.
So with this, I propose, I'm also gonna do the construction. I own Spalletta Construction. I'm gonna be doing the construction for Dr. Jean Greco. So I propose to put in 27 new parking spaces, 2 more handicaps with a Versalock retaining wall.
How much, I know there was, did you see the comments? There was a couple of comments.
No,
PRC had.
Tony, no, I did not.
You know what it was, Dave, it was just, move the ones from the east side, a few of them, can you move them over to the west side where there's more distance from the road? Yeah,
Yes,
you see what I'm saying?
I can.
That would keep more green at the east side.
How many, I could probably move 2 spots.
Yeah, 2, 3, whatever comes out,
3
whatever
spots
works, but
to the
it just gives that much more clearance,
No problem,
you know?
no problem.
What's it like, 225 feet, yeah.
About 225 feet.
Yeah. If it helps the project to move forward, I don't have an issue with that. It's,
Yeah, he just can't operate.
Oh, yeah, I
There's just
understand.
no way that he can operate without those parking spots. And obviously, for the future of this project, obviously he wants to get tenants. He wants to fill the project.
yeah,
If Dr. Jean Greco does not buy this project, this structure, I don't know what's going to happen to this structure. It's just, it's in trouble. This truly is a problem without these parking spots.
I think it's a minor change if you can get the place to be usable again.
Yes.
How high is this retaining wall?
It's 3 courses.
Yeah, it's only couple feet.
It's only 28 inches with the cap.
Actually, there's a drawing, you got a drawing of it in there too.
So you got 3
There's a
courses.
picture of, it's just a product bulletin.
Yeah, Versalock,
Yeah.
it's a structural retaining wall. It's got its structural rebar integrity to the block. I will also put a drain tile wrapped in fabric with stone behind it. It doesn't call for it, but it's just extra protection. I'll daylight that on the east and west side, the stone. And obviously it'll just run off with riprap and it'll run off into the parking lot.
You understand the need for the lot, to make the space more usable. I do have a little concern though about how close that is to the edge of the state right away. It's not that big of an excavation, you're saying it's a couple feet, but it's
Yeah, I need about
fairly decent distance.
3
Yeah.
feet more for
Yeah.
excavation and backfill.
The level of detail on this, it really needs an engineered plan.
It's a pretty simple concept.
Especially since it's something that's being submitted to a municipality for review and approval. And unless you're a licensed engineer,
I am not.
okay, and you understand that this is a drawing prepared by a licensed engineer that you are modifying to show your plan. I think you really should have an engineered plan for the site. So we have a clear understanding on how this thing's going to be built, the impact it'll have on the edge of the right-of-way, and if DOT even has a concern,
There's quite a bit
if
of
there's
green space.
a closeness for the drop-off there.
There's still a lot of green space between here and the sidewalk. There's quite a bit, especially here. There's probably still another, I'd say 40 feet, 35, 40 feet
Sure.
to the edge of the pavement, the retaining wall. So there's still a lot of green space, still a lot of grass.
That was part of the reason I was suggesting taking, last 2 or 3 parking spaces to the east.
I could do
Put them
that.
up around the corner of the west side.
I could do that.
That's right where, that is where the sharpest bend in the road is, if you will,
Yes.
right there.
Yes.
That would keep a more consistent setback. It'd be similar to more like the middle,
Yeah, I could bring a few more spaces. to
Put
the
those 3 up at the other end. I don't know what's up there. I see a bunch of squares there, but I don't know what they are. Nothing, I guess. No, that's where there was a house at one time.
There's a sign right there.
Yeah. But if they could be moved that way, I think that would,
We could move a couple spots that way. 2, 3 spots.
that would bring you up to right about where that arrow shows there, but I don't know what the scale is. What's the scale?
Right here.
Inches 40 feet. So from... Yeah, it's hard to really figure out. Here's the edge of the roadway right here. So you'd have, it looks like you'd have about 30 feet maybe, something like that from the edge of the,
You got about 30,
Right?
35 feet,
yeah.
roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Over here you have about 20 feet.
Is,
If we take 2 out here, you have about 20 feet. Over here, about 35 feet.
is that going to require a variance, Josh?
For the parking?
Yeah? Huh?
No.
No, okay. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Well, I think it's fine as far as, I can see a definite need. And they probably should have done that right from the beginning. Anything
Oh, yeah,
that's
definitely parking spaces.
front parking, because this slopes down, the rear parking is a lower level. Makes a lot of sense to put additional parking in the front.
Mhm. So you're cutting basically, what, about 20 feet into the bank?
20 feet,
Yeah.
correct. I'll excavate probably 20, 22, 23 feet. Obviously backfill it, I'll sod, I'll put the cap in, sod it, come right back down, sod it. It
Yeah.
looked like I wasn't even there.
You see what I was referring to there, Derek, or Dave, whatever?
Yeah.
Just, if you're taking those ones where it is tight on the east end,
Sure,
just transfer those over to the west end
yeah,
by the curve there.
it'll make a,
That would give them, more consistent depth.
it would.
I don't know, you're thinking you need an engineer's drawing, I mean, for what? What's the sense?
Well-
of it? It's really nothing.
This is an application for modification for a site plan. And site plans by our town code are prepared by a licensed engineer. And Mr. Spaletta is not, and this is not an engineering drawing. So it's a nice concept drawing. Have contact Passrow, have them put together the engineered plans, show them the details, take into the comments I got, then it's something we can consider. I understand the need for it, I don't really have an objection to the project itself. What I have an objection to is it's a submittal that's not in conformance with our own town code, so we can't even
Okay,
consider.
all right, why don't you have them make a sketch up of that, right?
I'm just trying to save, obviously.
No, I understand what you're doing, but this
money,
is-
But,
You
yes,
want-
I can have him make a sketch.
Yeah.
You want somebody to take the liability for the land of this.
No problem. I can have Passrow draw
Yeah,
it up.
that way you're showing exactly what we're doing, you're showing
not a
moving the
problem.
3 over and you got it.
No problem.
All right.
You can,
That's not a problem.
the public hearing, you can open it up.
Is it a public hearing?
Yeah,
It is?
it's advertised public hearing.
Oh, I didn't even know it was, I'm sorry. Okay, well, this project is a public hearing, we'll open it, so if anyone has any concern regarding this project, you can call 872-7011. Yeah, it'd be good to get that place reoccupied before
Yes.
it does go to that.
It needs it. It's
Yeah.
time.
been 2 years since no one's been in there?
Pardon me?
It's been 2 years since, it's been empty for 2 years?
It's been empty for 2 years, and, you know, Dr. Gene Greco is a good friend of mine, and I'm just trying, obviously, as a friend, to help him. Obviously, you know, I'm in the business as a developer and contractor, and I said to Terry, I go, Terry, this project, you cannot buy this project without, you just can't do it. It's dead for this reason, and I'm sure the town does not want a dead project. I know you guys don't want this suffering like this, so.
I think there's a couple of tenants in there now, doesn't
He's
it?
got
A couple small.
4 tenants in there.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's got some work to do. The leases are coming up. You know, he's nervous. So we have to get the leases signed, and obviously we have to get the parking in, and I really think that we can make it it could be a successful plaza.
Why don't you, who did this, Passroad? Yeah, Passroad.
Passroad did the original.
Why don't you have them just make a sketch of the whole thing?
Yeah, no, matter of fact, I was talking to David. David, thank you for approving the vet. We're building the vet too.
Oh, are you doing that?
Yes, we're
Yeah.
gonna build a
It's a
vet.
nice looking building.
Yeah, it's a nice looking building. She's a good person.
Yeah. Have Passroad make a drawing.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I talked to David outside. He'll do
I
it.
think we're already aware of it. I mean, that's something they could probably do quickly,
Yeah, no problem.
get it back in.
No problem.
You
All
can
right.
adjourn it to a
What's
specific,
that?
you can adjourn it to a specific.
Well, I don't know what they're planning, I don't know how quick they can get it. What do you want, you wanna come back in and,
I'd like to, so we won't be able to get approval tonight.
No.
no, she get the drawing first.
Okay. Do we have to wait another couple of weeks? Should I submit it?
Our next meeting is in
When's the next meeting?
March 2nd. Do you think you can get it in before then?
I think I can get in before March 2nd, yes.
Or do you
I
want to
think
go to
I
March 16th?
It's gotta be in 2 weeks before.
When do you have to have it, Josh, a week?
Well, for the next hearing, I have to prepare.
I mean, I
the
can
agenda for
probably
Friday.
do this,
What's that?
Friday is when I would prepare the agenda for the next meeting.
This
So
Friday?
I mean, I can just go based on the description if we have confirmation that they can get it to us.
Yeah, but for March 16th, the filing deadline is March 1st.
March 1st. Is there one coming up March 2nd? March?
Yeah, but according to our schedule, it says February 16th today is the deadline.
Could I put it on the agenda and have it by this Friday? Try to get you a drawing by this Friday and have it on the agenda for March 2nd?
I don't have a problem. It's already been advertised once, so as long as the description isn't changing, which it doesn't sound like it is, I don't think that'll be a problem.
I agree. Yeah,
Have it to you, Josh, by Friday.
Okay.
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 And I'm gonna move, Tony, I'll move a couple spaces. I'll
Yeah,
move a couple
just,
to the west.
that'll give you a little bit more green on
I'll move
that.
a couple spaces to the west.
All right,
All right, well, thank you.
we're good. We'll see you guys.
Nice to see you.
You too.
Nice to see everybody.
Take care, Dave.
Thank you.
Take care, David.
And we didn't close the public hearing. We'll keep the public hearing open for this project for the March 2nd date. Okay? All right, is that it? We got everything, right? Okay, with that, I guess we're all finished for the evening, so thanks for coming in.